Great work today!
A drinking party, an indispensable and much anticipated event in college life. Talking to people you get along with, your first alcoholic drink, not to mention...
Kanade, do you know your face is red?
Really? It is? I'm not very good with alcohol.
Are you all right? What do you say the two of us, like, go somewhere and talk?
All right. Wonderful encounters.
Are you all right, Kanade? Would you like to discuss prime numbers now?
Ugh.
It's amazing they solved the point-Fourier conjecture without using topology.
Even if that isn't something you could ever hope for here in the Ikeda lab.
庶民ら庶民らどっちつかずの曖昧関係許せないから答えを求めようつなぐ手と手のパラドックス700万年前からの命題を今だ誰も解けないらしい恋を定義する条件をみんな隠してしまうからあなたに会いに行くルートならば最短距離がくアルゴリズムで歩こう庶民ら庶民らはっきりさせて0か1かそれが大問題月の右肩のダッシュが邪魔ね手と手つなぐ温度ならば平均示すはずなのになってグラフの右肩上がり続けて解決できないパラドックス
Great work today!
With half the school year already gone, we have summer vacation knocking on our door.
I'm almost free at last.
Oh, that's right, Kosuke. You had to retake your computational theory class. How did you do on the test?
Well, I'm pretty sure I did okay.
Today, we're having a party to celebrate the end of first semester classes. In the Ikeda lab, we don't go to a restaurant. We have the party in the lab. We all go shopping together, pick out the alcohol.
I think one more can will go in.
You know about the sphere packing problem, don't you? Packing them like this gives the most efficiency.
We order pizza.
Yeah, Canadian ham is what we like.
The pizza toppings are chosen using a randomized selection program we made ourselves. It's tradition. Everyone brings in things they like. We eat and drink. It's a relaxed kind of drinking party. Sort of like being at home. Yukimura, would you like some too? Hang on a sec. You don't drink wine?
I don't care for it.
Really?
Alcohol destroys cerebral functioning. I don't understand the active desire to become an idiot.
Gee,
Actually, the vote is still out on the moderate consumption of alcohol. But, in many ways, Yukimura's still a child. Right there's your proof.
And how about you exercise moderation? If you get any dumber, you'll be seriously handicapped.
They get along so well.
All right, Kanade, you weren't at the last party we had in April, were you?
And that's right. Actually, this is my very first party here in the Ikeda lab.
The last one was an absolute disaster. Tarasuke went off and got totally wasted on too much cheap wine.
Hey, hey! What's up? Looks like you're out of wine. Want another glass? Yeah! I wiped last time from my mind. Let's get this party started!
That kind of behavior is okay for a soccer club beer fest, but it makes him stick out here.
All right, I think it's time for everyone's favorite drinking game. The Yamanote line game, go!
How's 101?
113.
131.
179. What's going on? Don't tell me you can't remember the prime numbers up to 358.
How am I supposed to know them? How can you just pop out prime numbers like that?
The prime number Yamanote line game. During Science Geek drinking parties, this may or may not be the norm, but the rules are simple. You go in order naming prime numbers, and whoever gets stuck or gives an answer that's already been given loses. Got it? However, it has to be a number higher than the last one, but also less than double the last answer, just to make things a little trickier, Bear. Now, if you're wondering why the double rule, it's because if you double any given prime, there will always be at least one prime between the first number and the doubled one. And why is it that way, you may ask? That's too much to explain. So, go look up the Bertrand-Chebyshev theorem for yourself, Bear.
I guess I don't think I really understand the game. Are prime numbers really all that interesting to you guys?
Are they what? You're into math and you don't get the magnificence of prime numbers?
Please forgive me. I haven't studied enough yet.
Ah!
Don't snap at her over something like that. It's normal not to understand. A prime number can only be divided by one and itself, the atoms of numbers, the prime. The rules behind their sequence are a complete mystery. Some people believe they are a code created by God or a blueprint left by aliens. It's a fact that in nature, there are many laws that involve prime numbers. In America, in the years that are prime, great quantities of seminars on the subject spring up. For some reason, numerical formulas concerning the way prime numbers appear and the intervals between big discoveries in nuclear energy seem to coincide. One problem involving the mysteries of prime numbers is the greatest unsolved hypothesis in the world of mathematics. It's called the Riemann hypothesis. Solve it and get $1 million in prize money.
$1 million?
Just so you know, right as we speak, the highest known prime number contains more than 23,860,000 digits.
Amazing.
And if you find a higher one, you'll win $3,000.
Wow. But Himuro, what's really amazing is how you can explain everything so well, even after you've had a few drinks.
Of course I can. At any given time, I'm intellectual, dignified, and calm. The science type I aspire to be in any situation. Oh, Yukimura, I love you!
Himuro!
Intellectual, huh?
Himuro does have the tendency to get super drunk all of a sudden. I'm so happy for you. Your love's been proven at last.
You can't use the ravings of a drunk as reference. I told you to exercise moderation. This is exactly why alcohol...
Hey, Yukimura, you know what?
No, what?
Give me a highest theoretical value kiss. Come on.
What? I can't right now.
Huh?
Trying to increase the mood value here.
Yeah,
would-
but why? I want it.
Stop acting like a child!
I never expected Himuro to get like this when she's drunk. Drinking really does drive people crazy. Hey, Kosuke, you should be careful not to drink too much and act, huh?
I decided I'm gonna marry Ina.
You too?
Sometimes when Tarasuke drinks a bit too much, he reverts back to somewhere around first grade.
Ina, please promise me you won't ever move away, will you?
Yes, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'll stay with you forever.
Yay!
You mind sharing the joke, Kanade?
It's just, your parties here are really nice. I like them a lot. Everyone does whatever they want. They go crazy however they like. And I guess I'm a little envious of that. I still can't manage it like the rest of you. You ridiculous couple! Quit flirting all day, every day!
So alcohol makes her go crazy, too.
What do you know about proof of love? Do you know how many people want someone to be with and then can't find anyone to save their life?
Kanade, let's just calm down a little.
Just shut up! You know, I just wanted to be like a normal girl and have a normal love in everything. That's all.
I love you, Kanade.
Well, you know, I'm sure you'll find the right one someday. For now, drink some water, okay?
Stop talking! I just wanted to be like everybody else. You see what I'm saying? Not some gorilla girl who reflexively attacks people just because they're standing behind her. Otherwise, back in high school, that would have only made it worse.
What on earth has gotten into her?
So I don't care about me anymore. I read the atmosphere and I blend in the best I can. It only makes sense to be normal. It's the best.
Ridiculous.
I drank way too much. Me of all people? I don't remember anything from about half the night.
I can't remember a thing.
I have this feeling I did something crazy, you know?
Well, forgetting what happened wouldn't be the worst thing.
Just as I thought, not imbibing in alcohol was the correct course of action.
Once upon a time, there was a science geek girl. She was named Cinderella.
Did you understand me, Cinderella? We're going to the ball now, and I want to make sure you clean the house from top to bottom. Is that clear? Clean every nook and cranny. I don't want to see a speck of dust.
One moment, Mother. Your extravagance is putting a strain on our family finances. And, based on your appearances, not to mention the size and quality of your ball gowns, in cost-performance terms adjusted for inflation, I suggest it would be better to send me instead.
I don't want to hear another word.
With a single wave of the fairy godmother's wand, in the blink of an eye, a beautiful dress and pumpkin carriage magically appeared.
I suggest you hop in and get going. Oh, and by the way, the spell only lasts until midnight, so good luck. I hope it works out.
Amazing! What operating system are you using? And what about the law of conservation of mass?
Looks like you did your homework there, kid.
What?
We're talking a phenomena about which the law of conservation of mass doesn't have a leg to stand on.
You don't mean a nuclear reaction?
What a magnificent intellect! May I have the pleasure of this dance?
My prince. I'd love to.
What's wrong? Stop!
I'm sorry, my prince. I have to leave right now. I'm sorry. Oh no, I have until 12 o'clock and 56 seconds Greenwich Mean Time.
What are you talking about?
Because the fairy godmother told me that the condition was before the clock strikes midnight. Each strike of the bell takes approximately 6.5 to 7 seconds, repeated 8 times. That gives me only 56 seconds.
Please, wait! I have to find out that woman's name.
Your Highness, don't be too upset. If you look for a woman whose foot perfectly fits the glass slipper, then you...
Contact the National Forensic Science Research Center at once. Examine the inner surfaces of this shoe. Conduct DNA comparisons. Issue a proclamation. All the women in the kingdom must submit somatic cell samples.
That's our prince for you!
DNA was extracted from skin cells discovered in the glass slipper. Cross-referencing a list of possible suspects in the somatic cell samples previously collected, inquiries were conducted. In this way, Cinderella was soon reunited with her prince. Yes, it was truly a great victory for modern science.
Hey, wait a second.
Kanade, did you have a question?
I'm not even sure how to say this. If I had to say how all of this began...
I think Tarasuke must still be asleep.
That's it then. I guess we'll start with just us. And as for timekeeping, why don't you do it?
Okay.
Our round-robin kissing experiment, combined with the mood quantification research, has given us some extraordinary data. But now, to make sure that this research continues to develop, we're going to need even more data than before. Which is why, to be able to find proof of love, I'd like everyone to offer ideas so that we can examine them.
I have one. What if we look at romantic movies, dramas, things like that, and imitate the most frequent situations found in them? We might suddenly be struck by something that could lead us to prove what love is.
If we use creative works as references, can we really hope to find realistic data? To start, television doesn't investigate its source material, and in some cases still presents that information as the truth. The credibility of informational media is extremely low. People need to make their own choices. Make their own decisions based on diverse informational parameters.
Well, this is an I don't watch TV kind of thing, isn't it? What do you think about romantic novels, then?
Out of the romantic novels you've read, are there any situations we could use as a reference?
I guess there could,
Kanade, what do you think about fairy tales?
Huh?
You know, Snow White, The Little Mermaid, those kind of stories. Even you must be familiar with those, right?
Come on, that's way too juvenile.
Fairy tales meant for children, is that what you're saying? But in this particular case, it might not be a bad thing.
Huh? You're okay with it?
Okay. A passing prince wakes Snow White from a sleep caused by a poison apple, after which they get married. The two had just met. How could they have arrived so quickly at romantic love? If we inspect the primary factors, I believe that in due course we'll find proof of love.
Well, I think it's because they're a prince and princess.
It's true. You know, Kanade has a good point there. But if we analyze it from a different perspective, we may be able to discover something new. For example, in the case of Cinderella, and that's why, from a contemporary perspective, I think it's valid to say that the events of Cinderella might unfold in this way.
I know we're analyzing it, but why did you make all those red marks in the story?
Huh? Oh, just some things that bothered me.
In fact, as Himuro has indicated, there are a number of unrealistic developments in Cinderella.
Of course there are! It's fiction! You know, I thought the agenda today was let's go looking for the proof of love. I don't think it was pointing out the weirdness in fairy tales, or did I get it wrong?
Okay, but if it were Princess Kaguya, then what would happen?
Well, let's see. Princess Kaguya. Once upon a time, there lived a science geek called Okina. He was a bamboo cutter. One day in a bamboo grove...
What is that? Some kind of bioluminescence?
And there lay a small, beautiful science geek girl. Okina rejoiced.
A tiny human about 10 centimeters high! A historical taxonomical discovery! I'm not lying, I'll bring it right now! What do you say, should I put it in formaldehyde?
She was given the name Princess Kaguya. And she soon grew into a beautiful science geek woman. Rumors of her drew many suitors to the beautiful young lady. I will marry any intellectual who can solve this mathematical problem.
A math problem? All I need to do is ask the math geek next door.
This woman has no intention of marrying!
I'm so sorry, Okina. I must return to the moon where I come from.
But you can't! Life can't survive on that airless orb!
Farewell, Okina.
No!
We have ignition.
Princess Kaguya!
And so, Princess Kaguya returned to the moon. But the problem that Princess Kaguya and Pierre de Farmont left behind was one that even the most brilliant minds couldn't solve. Time passed, and then, in 1955, here in the land where Princess Kaguya once lived, two Japanese mathematicians had a great impact on the solution of this incredibly difficult problem. Now, finally, the history of number theory begins to advance once more.
Right, okay, that's the end. We're all done now. Oh, and our time's up too, so we'll just stop the discussion right there, okay? Good work, everyone. Today's romance research made exactly 0 progress, but it's okay to have days like this too.
Princess Kaguya became a woman of marriageable age in 3 months, correct? If we suppose that she would be 18 years old, then her maturation speed is 72 times that of humans.
Hold on a sec, Yukimura. If we consider the historical era, then marriageable age isn't 18. An age of 15 is more appropriate, wouldn't you say?
Which would make the speed of maturation 60 times normal. At any rate, she shouldn't have returned to the moon. She should have been examined as a specimen.
してる時が恋らしい主観エビデンスフェイス
愛は計算じゃ解けない
まず普通の計算も解けない
要はその状態が愛らしい
愛の
You know
もう大抵の事象において急があって絵を出して解けるのに
勘違って間違って他のないこの気持ちはなんだろう
Tension is radio
手順モーションは
相対性に stay 準備は見つめ合ったったって解けないメロ
What is love 今ワンツースリーで明かそうか
言葉で生み出すクエスチョン
ハートで高鳴る朝かかったって確定せ僕らの BPM 準備ラブ中にまただって信じないけど Fall in love
今は ABC すらかかりそうか
なんでか教えておいら
感想聞かせてファーマー
予測不可能性今触れてみるさあ証明しよう
間違いのないように
証明しようこの感情全部証明しよう
正解があるなら
証明しよう
シンプルな QED
Once upon a time, on a cold winter's day, a lone, penniless science geek found a crane caught in a trap.
That's a Japanese crane. I thought it was supposed to be an endangered species.
To preserve the ecosystem, he helped the bird and set it free. That night, is anyone there?
Who are you?
I'm sorry, I've lost my way. Would it be an inconvenience if I stayed here tonight? To his surprise, there stood a very beautiful woman, and as the science geek had built up no immunity to women, he was greatly astonished.
To think I'm alone with such a beautiful woman. I have no idea what to talk about.
Hesitantly, the science geek began to speak with the woman about Zermelo's axiom of choice. For some reason, the woman listened with what seemed to be great enjoyment. And then, I am going to use a loom in this room to weave. Please don't ever look in here ever again. After that, the woman closed herself in the room. 3 days later, she had completed a piece of incredibly beautiful fabric.
Are you all right?
Because this is for you alone, I did my best. After that, the woman continued to weave, and the beautiful fabric sold for incredibly high prices.
How is she managing to weave things with such amazing precision? An airjet loom!
I guess you know my secret now. The thread and compressed air are shot from the main nozzle. It's a system which allows for rapid weaving without a shuttle. I've invented a mechanism which allows 1,000 weft threads per minute. I was worried about the power supply, but I solved that problem by melting snow and installing a hydraulic generator.
Incredible!
I apologize for hiding it. The truth is, I'm a science geek myself. And now that you know what kind of woman I am...
Your mind and intellect. Please marry me. Say yes!
Huh? And so the science geeks were married. And later, their improved airjet loom caused a revolution in the weaving and textiles industry. And they became very wealthy and lived happily ever after.
Next time, Proof 8. Science types fell in love, so they tried to gather proof of love.